You're watching 48 Fastcast.
All right, y'all, 7:01. Thanks for waking up with us, joining us for the 48 Fastcast. Kind of a gloomy start today, but it is the aftermath of all that rain and those storms we saw yesterday. Another batch coming tomorrow.
Yeah, looking at tomorrow being a first alert weather day, so a lot to pay attention to, Eric.
Yeah, another day with strong to severe storms in the forecast for Wednesday. This will be during the evening hours, and we'll see more rounds of heavy rain leading to possible flooding. The main concern with tomorrow's storms will be damaging straight line wind gusts, potential for frequent cloud ground lightning, large hail, and we'll even include the mention of a brief spin-up tornado. Typical this time of year when we get a line of storms coming in that you see some form of rotation. So we'll be watching all those threats very closely tomorrow. Out the door, though, this morning, just kind of the leftover of the rain and storms we saw yesterday evening. Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis was tracking that for you, but some of you might have to flip on the windshield wipers or pop the umbrella. Rain chances wrapping up by mid to late morning. Should be dry through the afternoon, but we do stay cloudy. But these temperatures are actually impressive in the mid 60s, and even with the clouds today, warming up to a high of 80 degrees with some peaks of sun late. Pollen count just a touch lower for that tree pollen due to yesterday's rainfall.
This is your 48 First Alert Road Report, sponsored by Bankston Motorhomes.
All right, 7:02 this morning. You see the Parkway in Huntsville still looking very good as far as the traffic flow goes. We do have an accident, though, in the Athens area. This is on Elm Street after Jefferson Street. This is just popping up here on the map, so be aware of that. Looks like it's near 99 there as well, so be aware of that this morning. If you're leaving from Decatur, heading toward the bridge right now, you're going to see a little bit of a slowdown there as well. That's going to impact your drive time from Decatur to Huntsville. It's at about 31 minutes now. Well, this morning, 48 is on your side talking to community members and city leaders about possible safety upgrades at a busy intersection. Now, 10-year-old CJ Bone was recently killed at a wreck near the Highway 67 and 8th Street Southwest intersection.
Yeah, that spot is widely seen as dangerous, and some residents we spoke with says the changes there are long overdue. 48 Sarah Grace Kennedy joins us live near that roadway. And Sarah Grace, city leaders you spoke with say the intersection has been a problem for a while now.
Well, that's why the city hired a engineer for this project to study the area and make safety recommendations. And that firm will draw up plans for that intersection. But at the end of the day, it will be up to the Alabama Department of Transportation on what changes can be made. Since Alabama 67 is a state highway, the city of Decatur can't directly change the traffic signals or design of the intersection. Council member Pam Wursler says that the city leaders can advocate for improvements, which is what they're doing. Wursler says engineers will review crash data from Decatur police and evaluate how drivers move through that intersection. In the meantime, Decatur police are stepping up traffic enforcement in that area.
So anytime we have accidents in the city, then we want to review those, have the transportation engineers review those and see what contributing factors could have caused the accident. In this case, now our hearts go out to the family of the child that was lost and anyone else that's had affected by any of those recent crashes that we've had there. A loss of life on our roads is heartbreaking for our community.
Wursler says that the process will take some time, even though the city and the state are working as quickly as they can. I'm in Decatur, Sarah Grace Kennedy, 48 on your side.
Well, Killen police want you to be aware of a dangerous new game that some high schoolers are taking part in. Authorities say the students are attacking each other with airsoft and BB guns in exchange for money. Now, it's called a, quote, assassination game. Police want you to know that your child could be charged if they take part.
Well, 48 is on your side this morning with the latest in the ongoing U.S.-Israel conflict with Iran. President Trump is threatening to bomb Iran harder if they block the Strait of Hormuz. Now, 20% of the world's oil passes through there every day. This all comes as new video of a deadly attack at a girls' school in Iran is causing a lot of controversy. Now, some American weapons experts believe an American missile struck that school late last month. Now, nearly 200 people died, mostly children. Weapons expert Jeffrey Lewis says Israel Israel and Iran do not have access to the missile that was shown on that video. President Donald Trump, though, is maintaining that it was Iran who bombed the school.
The Tomahawk, which is one of the most powerful weapons around, is used by, is sold and used by other countries. That's being investigated right now.
Now, President Trump also announcing yesterday that the war could end very soon. He says that the U.S. will help Iran rebuild once it has a new leader that he approves of.
In recent years, the regime and its terror proxies have launched attacks on hundreds of commercial vessels. We're putting an end to all of this threat once and for all, and the result will be lower oil prices, oil and gas prices for American families.
Now, Iran is launching numerous missiles at nearby countries, especially earlier this morning. More than 1,200 Iranians have been killed in this conflict. 7 American soldiers have also died.
That drop in oil prices is not translated to the pumps. Prices are actually up a few cents more in Huntsville. This morning, gas prices are up to $3.11. It is a few cents cheaper in Decatur. Well, get ready to pay more for your water. If you live in Athens, you'll be paying more over the next 4 years. The rates will increase by 2.5% every year. Sewer rates will go up by 7.5% for the next 2 years, then 5% 2 years after that. By the year 2030, you'll be paying about $13 more per month. Athens city leaders say this increase is needed to pay for upgrades to the city's wastewater treatment plant.
Folks that are paying the added rate increases are going to be paying for things that serve them directly today. If we don't do it, we're going to have a difficult time down the road with the agencies and with growth in general.
We've been studying this for some time, and we take these issues very serious, and it's just critical expansion that has to take place.
The 7.5% sewage rate hike is expected to take effect on April 1st. The water increase will take effect on October 1st.
Well, this morning, we're showing you the dramatic video that showed the moment a deadly police chase ended in Huntsville. This happened at a home on Brookline Drive this past Sunday. That's in northwest Huntsville. Now, police tell us they were chasing a man for a domestic violence situation. And Gabriel Shihawa says that he started recording right when he saw that chase. Moments later, the driver crashed into a home and the driver died in the accident. Shihawa tells us that he's happy that the homeowner wasn't hurt.
Usually sitting out by his mailbox, checking the mail, just always in the yard waving. And so when I seen the car go by and realized it was his mailbox, it just kind of made me nervous that he might would have got hit. So I'm glad he didn't.
Now, the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency is now investigating the case. Huntsville police tell us they will release the name of the man who died when the investigation is finished.
This morning, the son of a Rogersville woman who was killed 11 years ago is sharing more about her case. Connie Ridgway was found dead in her apartment in October of 2015. Casey White sent a letter from prison confessing to the murder, but prosecutors believe he may have lied and faked that confession. Ridgway's son, Austin Williams, does not believe White did it either. He says his mother was expected to testify in a criminal case just days before her murder.
You have this wonderful, kind, sweet lady who's my mother, and somebody just violently just took her out. It just doesn't make any sense. And as it is right now, I wouldn't want to retire in Rogersville. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near Rogersville.
There is a $5,000 reward for information leading to an arrest. Williams, meanwhile, has since opened food pantries across the Tennessee Valley to honor his late mother. One of those food cabinets was opened yesterday outside Green's Dependable Hardware in Russellville.
Well, this morning, a Madison County judge could face a fine. That's because another judge has ruled that she didn't follow the law. Judge Donna Pate and members of the Madison County's Indigent Defense Advisory Board could be fined amidst an ongoing legal battle. The case all centers around the establishment of the Madison County Public Defender's Office. Some local attorneys that we spoke with said that the decision to establish that office was made behind closed doors, which it shouldn't have been. A separate judge has ruled that the board is legally required to follow Alabama's Open Meetings Act. Well, in Lincoln County, hundreds of people will be losing their jobs next month. The First Brands Group plant in Park City will be closing, and more than 330 people will be impacted.
Happening today, testimony is set to resume in the capital murder trial of the man accused of killing Anaya Blanchard. Ibrahim Yazid is charged with kidnapping and murdering the teenager back in 2019. He's accused of taking her from an Auburn gas station, killing her, and then dumping her body in the woods near Tuskegee. Blanchard's brother took the stand yesterday describing the last time he saw his sister. He said he dropped her off in Auburn and never saw her again. Testimony will resume later this morning.
Well, the 10 Commandments may soon be displayed in your child's classroom. A measure that would allow that is passing through the state legislature this morning. The bill would require all 5th through 12th grade students or history classrooms to have a poster displaying the 10 Commandments. It would also have to be displayed in common areas like libraries and cafeterias. Now, the president of Huntsville Bible College tells us the commandments are great to live by, but they shouldn't be forced onto people.
What is the motive for this? Is it historical or is it religious coercive? Is it a political move that this may get me more votes for next time I run for my office? My concern would be the motive behind it, but I think the 10 Commandments should be studied, but to be forced is going to be concerning.
Now, the bill has passed the House committee and is expected to pass the full House soon.
People who drive drunk and kill someone will be spending more time in Alabama prisons. Governor Kay Ivey has signed a law to enhance penalties for certain DUI crimes. The Safe Streets Act was created after the death of 2 Alabama teens who died in wrecks. John Wesley Holt and Devaney Rooney were killed in separate crashes. In each case, the men responsible served a year or less in jail. Holt's mother says she was disgusted by this.
When I was in the courtroom and we heard a 1-year sentence, I could hear John Wesley's voice in my ear going, "Mom, really? My life is only worth a year?" So at that point, I made it my mission to change the law.
Now those who drive drunk and kill someone will face decades in prison.
Well, in Tennessee, landlords will soon not be able to keep their tenants from having guns in their rental homes. A measure that would prevent this is currently at the governor's desk. Once it's signed into law, landlords would not be able to stop their tenants from having guns or ammunition inside of a house that they're renting. Governor Bill Lee says that he plans to sign that measure into law.
Now to an update on a story we first brought you yesterday. We now know those teens arrested for throwing water bottles at cars in Etowah County played baseball for Gadsden State. Southside police say they received multiple reports of similar incidents over the past few months. 5 players were then arrested for 3 different incidents that happened on Friday. The students have been identified as Cotton Shields, Samuel Hill, Jaden Eason, James White, and Raiden Sumner. You see them on your screen there. Authorities say being young should not excuse their behavior.
All of these victims, they have serious damage to their vehicle. It's going to cost hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to fix all these vehicles that have been damaged. Some people had broken windshields, some people had body damage, broken mirrors. And so it's more than just this was an innocent prank.
Now the 5 are facing charges including criminal mischief and reckless endangerment. Well, this morning, 48 is on your side showing you some of the aftermath of yesterday's storms. This is a look at flooding in Tony. You can see that road is just completely flooded over there. And this is a look at downtown Rogersville last night. Streets are just covered in water as those heavy rains came through, and more rain is headed our way tomorrow.
Tomorrow is a 48 First Alert Weather Day, sponsored by Mr. Reuter Plumbing for all your emergency plumbing services.
Well, good morning, everyone. For your Tuesday, couple sprinkles this morning, and even with the clouds today, turns out to be an unseasonably warm March day with highs around 80 degrees. Tomorrow is a 48 First Alert Weather Day for the potential of strong to severe storms for the evening hours. We'll go through that hour by hour coming up, and a big change coming. There's a temperature drop between Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday highs in the 50s, but Sunday night into Monday of next week, highs will be in the 40s. Big change coming. We've got some light showers right now on the radar, tracking through parts of Marshall, Jackson, DeKalb County. 80 degrees, mostly cloudy today. Strong storms late. And then there's your temperature drop by Thursday. Here's that storm timeline for tomorrow. Wednesday, 6 to 9 for northwest Alabama, 7 to 10 for north central Alabama, and 8 to midnight for northeast Alabama and Sand Mountain.
Eric, thank you. Still to come this morning, we have a 48 recall alert you might want to know about.
And a local blood drive is happening this week. We'll share when and where next.
Well, Ford has issued 2 major recalls on more than 1 million SUVs. They say issues in manufacturing may cause your rear view cameras or windshield wipers to malfunction. If you own a 2020 through 2022 Bronco, Edge, Explorer, Escape, or Lincoln Corsair, your rear view cameras may not display correctly or at all. Ford is asking you bring those cars in to get critical software updates as soon as possible. The windshield motors in those vehicles may also be affected and should be brought in for repairs. Ford assures the replacement services will be free of charge.
Well, listen up, parents. Happening today, Underwood Elementary School in Lauderdale County will be closed. That's because a lot of the students there are sick. The school will also be closed tomorrow.
Right now, Tennessee lawmakers are deciding how they'd make up for lost revenue if a new grocery tax bill is passed. The current 4% tax brings in about $800 million every year. Republican and Democratic lawmakers both say they want to eliminate the tax. Democrats said yesterday the funds would be replaced by closing corporate tax loopholes.
It's very nerdy, but worldwide combined reporting and a corporate minimum tax. Both of those things have been instituted in states like Texas.
Now, as of now, Republican lawmakers have not come to an agreement on ways to make up for the lost funds.
And I can go on and on of the taxes that we've cut, and we're still able to make sure that teachers are getting raises and state employees are getting raises and roads are getting paved.
The proposed bills would go into effect in July if passed. Lawmakers in Tennessee are also taking an unorthodox approach to fundraising. They're considering legalizing marijuana and using the tax revenue to repair roads. Tennessee officials are aware of the work needed on their roads. They're even more aware of Tennesseans taking those roads across state lines to buy marijuana. Now they're considering legalizing the drug to keep those people and their wallets in the state. Senator Heidi Campbell thinks the revenue made from legal sales could directly benefit cities.
Tennesseans are going to other states and getting cannabis. So why are we allowing Tennesseans to go fund Missouri's roads when we could be capturing that revenue here at home?
The Pot for Potholes Act, as it's known, would allow adults 21 and over to legally buy marijuana. A 15% tax would be tacked onto those sales and put towards city expenses.
We'll cover your community now where you can help give blood. Life South is holding a blood drive at Lauderdale County High School. It's happening on March 19th from 8:30 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. According to our media partners at the Times Daily, those who donate will also receive a free Life South t-shirt.
A planned cemetery cleanup event in Madison has been canceled. Now, there were originally plans to clean up a Grave Cemetery this Saturday. It's located off Balch Road. However, organizers are having a hard time accessing the site. No new date has been announced.
Well, if you're watching us on Dish Network this morning, you might miss out on our evening shows. That's because Dish has not renewed an agreement with our parent company, Gray Media. If an agreement isn't reached by this afternoon, Dish will pull 48 from its Tuesday evening lineup. Now, you can find the number to call Dish to talk about this, and that's attached to our story on WAFF.com.
Tomorrow is a 48 First Alert Weather Day, sponsored by Mr. Rooter Plumbing for all your emergency plumbing services.
Yeah, Wednesday is a 48 First Alert Weather Day, coming off the heels of yesterday's strong to severe storms. It'll all ramp up tomorrow evening as early as 6 o'clock. But let's get you through today. We are mostly cloudy, some peaks of sun from time to time, but very warm. Temperatures will warm into the lower 80s in most locations. It will have that spring-like feel with a bit more humidity, even the possibility of a few showers popping up late this evening into Wednesday morning. Here comes the front, though, and a line of strong to severe storms expected to move into northwest Alabama as early as 6 o'clock. And this leading edge here will produce possibly some damaging straight-line winds, large hail, heavy rain, frequent lightning, even the potential for a brief spin-up tornado, and then we'll have some lingering showers late Wednesday night into Thursday morning.
Well, still to come, a 200-year-old game is making a comeback. Why fans say it's regaining popularity.
And one man is helping a grocery store reach an important milestone to help the community. We'll show you how next.
Well, check this out. A Hartselle woman is celebrating 30 years since a life-saving heart surgery gave her a second chance. Mary Davis was diagnosed with congestive heart failure at 56. She had a heart transplant in 1996 that saved her life. Today, she is 83 and living a very full life. Our partners at the Decatur Daily report that February 1st was the 30th anniversary of that surgery. For more on her heartwarming story, you can visit our website, WAFF.com. Two Athens high school students have designed a tool that could help those with digestive issues. Seniors Gavin Rodriguez and Gavin Swind have invented a prosthetic gallbladder. The device is made from material that's used in hip or kneecap replacements. The pair spent months coming up with the design before entering it in competitions. Now they're hoping to win a big national contest.
We're very confident, yeah. We think we can do it, but yeah, we'll have to see. Obviously, across the country, there's a lot of great ideas, so we're really confident we've put in good work into this, and yeah, we know what we're talking about, and we hope we can improve on what we've already got and yeah, represent Athens High School.
Now, your gallbladder is a small pear-shaped organ that stores and releases bile. Bile helps you digest fat in the foods you eat.
Well, one man from Iowa is working with a grocery store to help feed hungry families. Excuse me. Now, Ken Zico bought 32 meal bags from Wilkes Marketplace in Cedar Rapids. That total was nearly $400. Now, those meals were then donated to families in need. Grocery store employees gave him a $100 gift card for his help, which he also decided to donate.
Hunger devastates everything. You can't work, you can't think, you can't thrive. All you think is about how hungry you are. If I can prevent that in some way, I mean, and absolutely, why not? Why wouldn't you want to do that?
Store employees also say they've now reached a milestone of donating more than 1,000 meals.
Well, in Tennessee, an old game is making a comeback. Mahjong enthusiasts are gathering in Brentwood near Nashville to play, and the game dates back over 200 years. Mahjong is very similar to poker. There are multiple hands that are dealt that can win or lose you the game. Those who enjoy playing say it keeps their minds sharp.
Stimulating the brain was never a thought until I saw what happened to my mom. I got into it for a particular reason. My mom passed away with all the conditions related to Alzheimer's last April. I do a lot of physical stuff, not so much brain, so I just decided I should get into this.
Now, a lot of adults play at that senior center, and they say that it's been the perfect way to stay sharp and meet new people.
Tomorrow is a 48 First Alert Weather Day, sponsored by Mr. Rooter Plumbing for all your emergency plumbing services.
Mahjong looks a little intimidating with the tiles and the cards, but it's all the craze these days. Tomorrow, a 48 First Alert Weather Day, another round of strong to potentially severe storms developing, mostly for the evening hours. From 6 p.m. to midnight is kind of our severe threat window, but this is for all of North Alabama and Middle Tennessee. Main concern will be damaging straight line wind gusts, but like yesterday, more heavy rain possible for flash flooding, large hail, and we will include the mention of a brief spin-up tornado. That's pretty common when we get a line of storms coming in, especially in the month of March. From 80 to 58 and then 78 to 47. We've got two big temperature drops coming our way, but today is not one of those days. We'll actually be pretty warm, high temperatures around 80 degrees, and then we're tracking the strong to severe storm threat tomorrow evening. We're cooler on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Do look fantastic. Before Monday, we're in the 40s.
Wow. Quite a drop potentially.
Yep. Up and down, up and down. That's March for you.
All right, y'all have a good one.